Before getting started, have your opening prepared carefully. Make sure all corners are square, the header is level, and jambs are straight. Fasten the track to the header 3/4 of an inch from the front edge and 1/8 of an inch from the jamb. Take the pivot plate and attach it to the top of the pivoting door 5/8 of an inch from the edge closest to the jamb. With the place secured, the top pivot pin should now be secured 2 inches from the pivoting's door edge. Now, attach the top guide plate to the guide door. The guide door's pivot plates sits 5/8 of an inch from the door's edge, with the top guide pin 1 1/2 inches from the guide door's edge. Note the stamped instructions on the pivot plate. Next, mount the bottom plate in the same fashion. The bottom pivot plate for the pivot door should be 5/8 of an inch from the pivot door's edge, directly under the top pivot. When secured in place, the bottom pivot plate's pin should sit 2 inches from the door's edge. To locate the correct position for the 1711 jamb bracket, measure down from the header equal to the door height and over 1 3/16 of an inch from the opening edge, and make a mark. This mark represents the top screw hole position on the jamb bracket. Fasten the jamb bracket with one of the provided flathead screws. The bracket's pivot point is adjustable, allowing it to accommodate several types of doors, even doors that may be warped. Your bifold doors are ready to hang. First, make sure the track pivot lock is in the unlocked position. Fold doors and insert top guide into track. And position top pivot pin between pivot lock and jamb. While lifting up on doors, firmly pull the top pivot pin into the top pivot lock. Once the top pivot is firmly seated in the top pivot lock, open the doors and rest the bottom edge of the pivot door against the jamb, behind the jamb bracket. Now, slide the tab toward the pin, locking it in place. The doors should now be hanging from the track. Press down on the jamb's bracket spring-loaded bottom pivot pin retainer and insert the bottom pivot pin. Make sure the jamb bracket is high enough to capture the bottom pivot pin, but not so high that it interferes with the operation of the doors. The jamb bracket does not carry any weight. It only holds the bottom of the pivot door in place. If a horizontal adjustment is needed, use the provided wrench until the door is in the desired position. If no adjustment is needed, secure the bottom bracket with screws. Repeat steps 2 through 5 for remaining doors. On a flush door, drill a 3/16 inch hole in the guide door, 36 inches from the bottom, and 1 1/2 inches from the hinge edge. If you are using louver doors, place the hole to best fit the door's design. Slide the doors into the closed position. Slide the snubber until it touches the top guide. Now open the doors and guide the snubber 1/8 inch closer to the pivot jamb. Tighten the track. Your doors should now snap shut and stay closed. Pull the knob and the doors should easily open in a smooth motion. For added strength, attach a 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch strip of wood to the header in front of the track.